Boom! I'm live! I'm here. I was playing stuff to myself. Sorry to be a bit late here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I see you're here now. I was actually talking to myself for a while, thinking that I was already online, but I had to press more buttons, etc. As always. And I'm just trying to get onto Rockfin now, because Rockfin is the hardest, the most difficult. I just don't understand what's going on with it. Oh, there I am. I think I'm already on there. That's the best I can do anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Nice to see you all. We're having trouble, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's trouble streaming on Rumble as well. Oh, what a shame. Well, we'll work out these things as time goes by. So I'm sorry if you gone to tune in on Rumble. You should be able to view this currently on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Rockfin. On my Patreon, I'm trying to advance the number of places where you can watch this and watch my other stuff. And I did actually get a HD quality version, but my setup means that half my head disappears if I actually turn on the HD at the moment. So I hope you will forgive me. I hope you will forgive me, and I hope everything is going well and you can hear me well and you can see me well and I'm here. Hello, my friends. I have been struggling to be able to make a living for ages and ages, dying on my ass over and over again. So I have a little bit of respite due to the fact that I have been offered this TNT radio show daily prime time between 4 and 6. Which I know there's a lot going on at TNT at the moment, but I've, to be perfectly honest, it's been the most likely destination for me for quite a while. That, maybe UK Column, a couple others. There's a new magazine, a new online magazine opening up in America that's been trying to headhunt me here and there. But I have been struggling on my ass, and I'm very good friends with a lot of the TNT guys, you know. A few of them have stayed around their house and they've come around my house and whatever, you know, and we know each other now, and we kind of like, this is a truther community in the UK, you know. A lot of the people who are currently on TNT Radio, they are the truther community, and they have been working very hard, especially through COVID. I mean, the first time I come across one of them really was probably James Freeman. And we did an interview together up in the valleys in Wales and kicked off. Yeah, I mean, we just got on straight away. And so it's been, I've been running in circles. Of course, they had asked me to submit some videos for their TNT Cinema weekend. So I put on the Who Do They Think They Are? And maybe one of the Searching for Stanleys went up. And also next weekend I was already booked on to perform. I don't normally do performances per se. On stage at a place called Kegworth Hotel up in Derby, where it's Comcast, so comedy podcast. And so I'm going to do 45 minutes of shaking like this and pretending to be Hillary Clinton, and that's going to be my addition to it all. I'm going to go through some of these. I'm going to go, hello, my friends. I am very happy to be here. I as you can imagine, I've been like, there's been a lot happening. A lot's happened, and it's been very quick, and I've needed to do a lot to get ready for the first days, which are Tuesday. Going on air Tuesday for the Johnny Vedmore Show. Originally, I was tempted to call it The Octopus with Johnny Vedmore. But I know people are anti-octopus. I think there's a lot of what's it? What's the philo octopus? No, it's the other one. Anyway, I won't try that. It's been too long a day. Summer Machada said, quite sensibly, body turquoise yoga pose, which I don't know what it means, but I like it. Ray J, nice to see you in the house there. So TNT doesn't sit right with me, full of ads for US military vets and NGOs, sending your cash in all their ads. A lot of straight talking reporters on there. There are a lot of straight talkers reporters. What's very interesting about them is that they don't actually take all of those ads are just free filler space. They at the moment don't take any money for any ads. They're just putting ads really for TNT Radio themselves and for other free things. They're putting them in the places where ads will eventually go, maybe. But commercial wise, they want to build up the station. This is how it's been sold to me before and now, which is they want to build up a going concern that has a place in the market, that people know what they want. They don't even have like subscription or anything like that. They are literally going to be. They're trying to make themselves a going concern already, but apparently they've got one hell of a supporter who's backing this project, and it is the only place, and I could tell you, the only place out there, apart from maybe one or two other platforms, that talk about the things we talk about and are not going to censor me at all. Zero censorship, apart from I'm not allowed to say the F words or whatnot. TNT Radio, they've promised me that I'm allowed to talk about what I want. I'm allowed to do the show in the way that I want. I'm allowed to push forward. I want to push forward. I want to do something special. I don't want to just go on there and be like, okay, now everybody else does work and I just sit there and talk to people. I don't want to do that. I want to do something special. I want to try and get the people on who we don't even expect to get on. This is a level up. This is a step up. You know, it's been hard for me to get guests here and there because really what I want is guests who are up here, but I'm around here and they won't come on my show. So I'm really happy to be in a place where I can potentially do that. I don't even know why I've got these earphones in right now. That feels better. Take the earphones out. But they don't actually take any money for any ads. So the US military vets and stuff like that, that's all free advertising they're doing. The majority of the ads are for TNT themselves. And we'll see how it goes. Like I say, I won't be censored. I mean, if the major problem I have is if I go to a platform and they tell me what I have to say, and I've been told I won't be, and I know other people who've worked there for quite a while. I mean, some of the people who work there include Sonia Bolton and James Freeman and other people who have been given free reign and are there because they're given the platform to say what they need to say and do. Come up here then, you silly. Stop being silly. Come up here. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. My cats won't be allowed in the studio very soon because I have to be uber professional, so I can't have a little black tail wabbling around on the screen anymore. What a shame. You're going to be banned. She is going to be banned. And no, she should be banned because she's Hitler. See? Hitler cat. Yes, she is. What have we got? What else have we got? Mayday, hello, thank you. Congrats on the TNT. Oh, it's been a long time in the make. To be honest, there's been a load of people who know me who have been pushing the guys at TNT to have me on for maybe 6 months to a year. There's been people like putting in my name. I appreciate them loads for giving me back in, and every time there's been an opportunity, you know, there's been a group there saying that you should have Johnny on the station, and I'm really grateful to them. Mainly because I know them as people, and they're really lovely people. A lot of these people are truthers. You know, one of the guys who works organizing the events is Wayne Tarquin Smith. You'll find him on Twitter as, and he actually came on when I was doing the Fungi Monkey podcast before the Newspace podcast. He actually came on one of the first ever podcasts that I did. Came around my house and we had a lovely time. He's just such a lovely guy. They're also welcoming. When I went to the last TNT gig, Dick Dellimpole was presenting it and came legging it down when I asked I made a quick couple of comments on the microphone, and he came running down and gave me a big hug because he's actually in my father's regiment, the regiment my father created in the Sealed Knot, which is a 17th century reenactment society. My dad was an army. My dad was a steel worker who lived in the 17th century. What can you do? Had lots of armor though. Hey, Cat, you're gonna get annexed like Poland. You understand? Hitler jokes. But it's considered, again, and this is still Ray J talking, but it's considered a conspiracy theory outlet. I'm a long-time viewer of Sonia Polton. That's how I come across TNT. Well, indeed, listen, I've been given the express instructions that I am to oppose the agenda that is currently being forced upon us by the mainstream establishment with my dying breath, and that is my job. So if someone comes to you and says, we're going to pay you to be an anti-establishment figure out there who's going to tell the truth, facts, and is allowed to say whatever they like, that's insane. That's like dream come true stuff for someone like me, because like the only times that people pay you is we're going to pay you so you be an anti-establishment figure that we mold and we decide what you do and we decide this and we decide that, you know, and you're not you at all. That's not what I got here at all. That's not what I got here, which is really nice. When Snow White, hello Snow White, evening, my lovely. You all of you guys have been supporting me through my hardest times, and I really mean my hardest times. The past year has been, a load of you know, brutal, horrible like times. I've had like the worst year in my life ever, and I thought I had bad before, and I thought, oh well, you know, now I'm going into the. I had such a bad year last year, and loads of you guys have supported me, pushed me on. When it's got up to the point where I've come doing these live shows, it's been really doing lives and this sort of stuff has been now about 3-4 months. So I've not been doing the lives that long, and I tell you, you guys have been, you've kept me going, you've kept me with this, kept me moving. It kept me focused on trying to do new things, trying to break new ground. This is just like another. This is a step lifted up. So I get to interview people, work at this sort of on TNT, doing this sort of work, bring it context to the general news. You know, I'm going to be on 4 till 6, so a lot of the other people are going to tell you the news, tell you what's going on, and then I'm going to draw context and show you who the people who are in the news really work for. That's one of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to show people, give people context. That allows me, then supports me and funds me to do all the rest of my work. So all of the rest of my investigative journalism, all the rest of my shows, all of that is going to be powered and funded by this, which is amazing. Can't be Can't be happier. You guys. And Ellen, since I've come on doing the lives, Ellen's been here, helping me out all of the time. Or like, I can't say there's been an influx of extremely good people in my life for the past 6 months. Yeah, and you all know who you are. That includes Laurie. That includes Ellen. That includes Marta. That includes Andrew. That includes Nat. That includes everybody. Angela. Everybody who's been there. DC there every time as well. All of you guys who are here, awesome. Nice to see everybody saying hello to each other. Guests, people who got shout out like Mike Eden. How about Ian Davis? Ian Davis is definitely high up on the list, of course. I mean, there's a certain amount of people. So like, Ian Davis, I think he's so important to understanding the current paradigm, the establishment, what's going on, what they're doing now, how it got there, but more where we are and what we're going in the future. He does such a good job of mapping out. Mike Eden I've spoken to, not on camera. Mike Eden and me had a conversation when I was in Chile. And he's such a lovely guy, really nice guy, and he was amazed by most of these guys who have worked in the medical world in vaccines for things like Mike Eden was at Pfizer, part Wellcome funded projects around the place, all over the place. All of these guys, they read the Welcome 5 article I did and they go, oh my God, I know all of these people and this is true. So it's really, that's one of the best things about doing like, for most people, they'll read the Welcome 5 article and go, look at all these nefarious skits. For people inside the medical establishment, this is like the celebrities of the medical establishment and no one knows outside the medical establishment, maybe except for Jeremy Farrar, Neil Ferguson. No one really knows Richard Sykes, Edward C. Holmes. No one really knows the guy behind the curtains. They know Neil Ferguson, but they don't necessarily know Roy Anderson, And these guys are super, super duper important. Really important. They're really important, And Mike Eden was just so excited. He was like a little puppy. He was like, oh my God. When I read it, I was like, oh God, this makes sense. And this makes sense. And that's the thing about facts and truth. When someone with knowledge of the events read an article that's, for me, I'm writing what what evidence shows me, and that just basically shows the story, and then they read the story and say, oh well, I understand that because I was here. So me and Mike Eden have spoken. I will definitely reach out to Mike Eden. I should be noting down all of these names as well. I definitely I've accidentally gone back up to the top to body turquoise yoga pose, which I do like. I am going to be semi-unprofessional or too professional, one of the two. I don't know which one it is. And I'm going to start noting down some of these people that you're telling me to have on, because that's what the point of this is. Mike Eden, I'd love to have him on. You're a very interesting man indeed. And Ian Davis, what a lovely boy. Now, I also, let me see if I can cut anyone off at the chase. Jason Bamas is someone I'd like to speak to about Adrian Dittman, the Musk clone that seems to be I think is an AI glove for Musk. So I definitely would love. I mean, Jason Bamas has been vital to my career. One of the only people to have me on his show when the Nicole Youngkerman stuff was really bad. She was pulling my stuff down all over the place. People were getting like restrictions for publishing anything about Nicole Youngman. Jason Bermas, he is just integrity galore. What a nice guy. I'd say what a nice kid, but he's about my age. So, but I think he's maybe a year younger than me. Maybe. But what an interesting character. But I'd really like to speak to him about Adrian Dittman. So that's definitely someone. Right, I'm back at you, JJ. Everybody's saying hello. We do like people saying hello. Johnny, come lately, new kid in town. Yes. Well, hey, ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? I'm really surprised that I'm up in amongst some big guys. It's quite amazing. Rip Steve Harley. Oh, really? Okay, Rip. The musicians of the world falling one by one. Get a feeling that everybody goes, oh, I wonder if he's vaccinated. That tends to be the way. DC, just saying, all of you guys have been such great supporters. Really, really, really love you guys so much. Richard, thank you so much for plugging out the Schwab articles. One of the reasons I like Richard Johnson here is because we disagree on things. I love it when people disagree with me and don't get so angry that they can't have a conversation with me. Because what we'll find is that me and Richard agree on 99% of things, but there's like 1% we got this nuanced difference of opinion on. I love it. I love a nuanced difference of opinion for sure. And I wish I knew how to say your name. I wish I knew how to say that. I wish I knew how to pronounce that first bit. Rusalina Lamia Thai News Channel. Hello. With your black flag of love. Really happy to see you. Thanks for joining in again. Thanks for coming in again. I did copy and paste that black flag once and it came up as a Welsh flag. So I wonder if it's meant to be a Welsh flag every time I say. I wonder. Oh, shh, don't tell anybody. Alphabet cat. My favorite type of cat is one that knows the alphabet from A to meow. Oh, that's terrible. I should stop doing that immediately. Here we go. Were Kate and Thomas Kingston having an affair, conceived a child, then taken out? Why? What is this? I love how people ask me. Antarctic Monkey, I do love you. Hey, Johnny, were Kate and Thomas Kingston having an affair, conceived a child, then taken out? Are you talking about Kate Windsor, whatever her face is? Are you talking about Kate buried under the patio, Kate and Tom Kingston, or is this a couple called Kate and Thomas Kingston? Because I'm not sure. If you're talking about Kate, then Kate Middleton, I suppose we'll call her. Then the what I've kind of gathered is that everybody thinks that William was having an affair with this other woman, this one of these low-down royals, was having an affair while Kate was in hospital delivering their child, by the sounds of it. I find the whole thing, the whole drama, the royals, if it is about this, just unnecessary. These are the most dull, horrible people you can imagine. Oh, we'll get married, make all of the country worship us as we get married, and then we'll bury you under the patio. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. So I don't know. Explain if you mean Kate Middleton and a guy called Thomas Kingston, and then tell me who Thomas Kingston was. Alphabet Cat. Yes, Abby Roberts. Germ Warfare and Patrick Hennessy all left. Yeah, I heard. I mean, I'm keeping out. I'm keeping out. I'm obviously picking up Abby Roberts' slot. What I heard is on the grapevine, not through TNT itself. I heard someone say that basically Abby really didn't need the job that much, and it was a lot of work attached to it, but I don't know how much truth is in that. I know there's a bit of back and forwards between people and Jeremy now. I've been on Jeremy's show a fair few times. Like I've been on his TNT show, and I've been on his Germ Warfare show as well. I believe he respects me, and I respect him. I'm sure he will bear no ill will, and I'm sure that his problems with TNT are his problems with TNT. I'm, just drama, man. Again, I'll say there are 0 people who are not funded by nefarious skits who will employ me and tell me I can say whatever I like and do whatever I like, and that's massive. That's massive. So I have the opposite of complaints about that. I don't mean to be like bigging them up too much, but holy hell, like the chances of finding a network where they're going to tell me I'm allowed to speak about whatever I want to speak about is insane for me, because it's like a dream come true stuff. Like winning a lottery. I mean, there's not many. Tell me a place, and this is a good one. Here we go, people. Note down a place, and note down that that's what you're doing here. So that if you just say a place while we're in the middle of another conversation, I might not get what you mean. But say another outlet where I'm allowed to say whatever I like, that I'm allowed to tell you the truth. And I will tell you whether or not I think that's true, that whether that outlet or that establishment will allow me to say whatever I want. And I will. So give me some examples. Kelly Pierce, another one of the people who have recently come into this realm of supporters who are coming and watching my work, interacting and being friendly and being love and bringing love. Kelly, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and rumors of bullying, etc. Yeah, no, again, it's a fine line. I don't know what the rumors of bullying are, but there is. I find it hard not to say we're grown adults. Yeah. Once you leave school, if you're being bullied somewhere, it's not called bullying, really. It's called you haven't stood up for yourself. And if you're not happy and you don't get on with someone, that's kind of normal within some workplaces. Sometimes I worked in a load of hotels where I worked with people who, if I was a victim, if I was to take on victimhood, I would have said, oh, they were bullying me. Loads of places because I conflicted with people, and every time I tried to maintain the status quo, they would keep being bullies, but I wouldn't see it as bullies, because it'd be like, for me, I was like, I'm a grown man. At some point I'm going to give them leeway up until the point where I'm going to say no more, and in every one of those situations that's what happened, because I'm a grown man, I'm an adult. So if I'm feeling bullied by another adult, then I either don't have anything to do with it, get up on my way, or I man up and do something about it and say something about it and say, no, I don't like the disrespect, because logically it are these different things. I'm just, a lot of what happened, I believe, is because they're running without any advertising. TNT, they needed people to double the amount of hours they did their show for, so 2-hour shows instead of 1-hour shows, and loads of people didn't like it, and for some people it was a straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not getting involved in that because I'm quite happy to do 2 hour show anyway. I thought they were all doing 2 hour shows, so when I found out, I was like, oh well, that's. But yeah, if you don't get on with someone and you feel like you're being bullied, if you're being purposely focused in on, and then they're making fun of you and doing all of that, it's hard for me to say it without ending up going, I'm just not a kid anymore. Just like I don't know. I don't know how I would get bullied now. I don't know. I would just not put up with it if I'm in a place where someone's bullying me and I'm an adult and I feel bullied. Then I'm in the wrong place, and then I may as well move on, which I think has happened. Sneaky. Oh, there's some sneaky talk going on here. I love being skint, says Antarctic Monkey. I know. It's it's a hard life. Being skint is a hard life. I mean, without my supporters, I would have gone bust last year sometime, and I've just managed to scrape along the top in the independent media, doing this independent media stuff, and I've just scraped along. By being a bully, no, I just scraped along. Sorry, I don't mean to take the mick out of people. People do get bullied, as if you're in a situation where you need a job and someone then takes advantage of you, that is shitty. It is crappy. It is. I understand. But I'm just too old to get bullied now. It just wouldn't last long. I'm not very good at being bullied anyway because I can give really good. so I mean, it makes people don't just people look for easy pickings. People look for people who they can bully. You have to be bullyable to be bullied. Again, I say that's terrible for people who have to go in. And listen, if you're stuck in a job where you're with a load of complete arseholes, you've got to just get a new job. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm a victim of the circumstance." You just got to get a new job and say, "That's a learning curve. I don't want to be around those people. I'll go on, but I'm not a victim. I'm doing what I need to do." 2 hours is a lot of work. It is because I'm going to be every day. I'm going to be talking to roughly 4 guests, so that's a lot of work. I'm going to have people helping me with booking and other things. That's why it's really important for everybody to give me an idea of who they want me to talk to. Because remember, okay, so let me give you a bar. Who's that? Elon Levy, the spokesman for Israel. I'd love to get him on. I'd love to get the spokesman for the IDF on my show. Love it. And I would not give him an easy time. And I would possibly be the hardest interview he's had since the beginning of the conflict. So I would love people like that. I would love to get on people as well, not just friends, not just get the facts out and information. Those things are vital. They're actually the first most important thing. I mean, the first port of call is information that is being hidden from us is the information that we need out there. So that's my number one priority. And the second one would be finding those interviews to combat really false narratives. So, what I want you guys to do is to look at those people when you see those people like Elon Levy and the like that really anger you, really boil your blood. Tell me this person, get them on your show. Don't only tell me people you like, tell me the people you really don't like, because those are the people I want to hold their feet to the fire as well. I don't want to be just a show where I get on people who I like. I want to try and get on some other ones. I want to try and get on some people who I can have a bit of an argument with about what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're acting and what they're supporting, especially when it comes down to things like Ukraine and Palestine, etc. Life is a stage, Johnny, says Richard. It's true. This is what is TNT? It was a classic cable TV channel in the US. Yes, it was back in the day, and it was actually really good. I would usually, when we had satellite TV in my house from when I was about 11, which was quite early on. It was before Sky Sports was just before Sky Sports was actually monetized, and you had to pay extra for it as a thing. So it was really early on that we got it. Just after, I remember it was just after Freddie Mercury died, that we got Sky. My dad got it because he wanted to watch Tutti Frutti, which was a naughty German show where they all run around with their boobies out, and he thought it was the best thing ever. He was so super excited about the German channels. I mean, my dad was just terrible with those sort of things. He was like, but they all run around with their boobies out, and my mum was like, "Oh, you're terrible." But that's what that's what it was. That's what it was. My dad was a bit of a hard dog for German boobies. Don't tell anybody. Oh no, I'm live. Ah. Well, but TNT, once TNT came on there, I used to flick over straight away nearly every time straight to TNT to see what was on first, because I love the old movies. Ooh, got a thumbs up on the top. I don't know where that comes from, but I love you. TNT is an Australian-based internet radio station. It is Australian-based, but it is obviously global because it goes around as many different countries around the world. It's obviously based in Australia, but targeting everywhere where the truth needs to be. It's got a lot of really good presenters on. I mean, really, there's some really top presenters on this. Sorry, I'm going to do something unprofessional. Hey, guess what I'm doing? Don't look, people. Don't tell the bosses. Don't tell them. They don't know what I'm doing. This isn't on their show. This is fine. It is true. TNT is an Australian-based internet radio show. Australian Chan. YouTube app. Yeah, sort of thing. Oh, there you go. TNT Radio, live tinfoil hatters, started by an Aussie. Yes. Well, there is some really fantastic debates on COVID, especially. So you got Charles Covis is on there, who did a lot of the COVID committee stuff. Then you've got like I say, James Freeman, who went by James Wells before. He really did a lot during COVID. A lot, interviewed a load of people. He one of the first vaccine damaged programs that I seen was James Freeman. He's such a welcoming chap. I've stayed over his house a couple of times. Beat the hell out of his kids at chess. Yes. I destroy kids at chess. That's what I do. His son was like, "Oh, I'm going to beat you really easily." I've never beaten anybody in 4 moves before, but I did that. He was so desperate to show how good he was straight away, and for one of the big chess moves, it didn't work out very well. Joel Allen, 1972. Hello. I listened to TNT Radio just because Sonia Poulton show. Yes, Sonia Poulton is a girl, isn't she? I mean, some of her work before as well has been just amazing. I mean, daring to look into the Madeleine McCann case, daring to look into things that other people just completely and utterly terrified of. She's also, she's been the first one to point out that how Richard D. Hall has been targeted, especially when a lot of what he says is true. But Sonia Poulton, when they were doing when they were trying to get that other platform up and running, which never really he got attacked over and over again, really. When they were trying to get that up and running, I felt for her because she worked so hard all of the time. She's such a nice woman. I like her so much. She's got such a lovely soul. You could tell that she's an honest person. Really do appreciate her. Oh, there you go. She is honest, at least. Yeah, yeah, completely. I completely love her. She's a lovely person. I've been on Sonia Polton's shows a fair few times, and she's always just so brilliant. And she outside, she's also been, supportive and lovely, and I really do like her very much. Also videos on YouTube and Rumble. Uh, Dave Curtin on TNT too. It's they're trying to build a truth network, that is really strong and is multifaceted. I'm going to be doing the Comcast event, one of the ones doing the Comcast event in next weekend, and that is a mixture between comedy and truther stuff. The first one, the first one I went to, the recent one, it was massive. It was amazing. Really, it's just like a fair few thousand people going to watch good comedy. I mean, I say good comedy. Katie Hopkins was performing. I actually found some of her comedy quite sweet. It was quite endearing. Where my monkey, my brother from another mother, who came with me, was just like, "No, none of this is funny." But he wasn't like insulted by it. He just doesn't like her comedy. He doesn't think she's a very good comedian. But I think it's pretty sweet. But there's a lot. There's a load of people who come together, and this is really important. Is that the truth community has been so separated, divided, doesn't think. A lot of the people in the truth community don't realize that they have friends, they have allies. There's allies all around, and we just don't know it. So the TNT has been helping bring those people together. And I appreciate that because, like I say, going to one of their shows is just eye-opening. You get to meet all of these people who suddenly you realize you ain't alone. You ain't alone, and we need more organizing like this. So I'm going to do this Kegworth Hotel gig, and it's a 2-day thing. The first day I'm going to do like a bit of a speech, a talk. I don't know. I haven't decided. Lots of people will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to write it down. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to worry all the time." But I kind of have an essence in my head of what I need to explain to people, and I'll map it out closer to the time. And the next day is workshops. Really, my message to people who, especially who don't know my work, is about the past and the future, and the people of the past, the people of people are now, how we're basically repeating the same cycles over and over again, and there's loads of different cycles all working together. I'm probably going to speak a lot about that because it's one of the most important things that people don't understand. And I got lots of examples to give that context. Ollie's granddad. Hello. Ollie's granddad, who I love. TNT is in danger of rapidly morphing into GB News. Now, I've heard, there is, because I've talked to a couple of people about, there's certain people on GB News that TNT Radio would love to have on. So, like, of course, Neil Oliver, a big name like that, they'd love it, wouldn't they? If they could get someone like that, then it would be their showpiece to bring some other people along. And then there's a danger attached to that you could end up doing that. But the people who are on, the majority of the people on TNT are not like the GB News crowd. The GB News crowd are made up of some really freaky. I mean, I've gone into I remember the one at the beginning, where probably October 8th or 9th, just after October 7th, you had this one guy who come on, and like I did a news pasty on it. You try and look into who he is, and it's like he's supposed to be this reporter. It turns out he's US Army all the way down, and they do a lot of that. GB News is a clear op, like, in my opinion. At the same time, they were trying to be like the anti-COVID news channel, mainstream news channel. at the same time, their news was like loads of people die in this, and this report says loads of people are dying. So it seemed to be like saying, "Oh, come here, person who disenfranchised with the establishment and doesn't believe in what's happening in COVID and what that it's actually all real." And all exactly how they say it is. Come to us. Now look at this propaganda that says that it's all real. That is really suspicious. Of course, every single entity has the possibility to go corrupt. But I tell you what, if they are going to try and get towards, if they their aim is to get towards GB News by getting me on board, then they're going the wrong way about it, I can tell you. And I hope there'll be a lot more of that, because I think the separation is clear. The separation is clear. There are the people who are on TNT would not be allowed on GB News. Like that's they would not be allowed to be presented on GB News because they're not the establishment. It might be a couple that you disagree with on that. Everybody each to their own. So far, I've not found someone who I'm in disagreement with. Nearly all of them, I have some sort of level of understanding. There's a couple where I say I'm not really that interested in what they got to say, but what they're doing is saying stuff that seems true. They are allowed on YouTube, which I'm surprised at, considered the topics that they cover. Yeah, I'm not sure how long that. I mean, no, that lasts only so long. But remember as well, they come at the tail end of COVID, where YouTube stopped really doing that. Just the banning methods. You can use YouTube as a sort of like guide, because I mean, behind the scenes, if I didn't argue with YouTube regularly, yeah, I'd say regularly, like once a month, probably. If I didn't argue with YouTube, I would have lost both my channels on YouTube already. So that is one of the things you have to do with YouTube. On one channel, I got like 2 strikes in a weekend that both got taken off because I argued with them, and I was right to argue, and I argued in a good way. Some people lose frustration with them and have their channels cancelled because they don't argue. And a lot of what YouTube is doing now, and I've talked to someone, so I talked to someone behind the scenes in YouTube, someone who I won't say who they are, but they're a big YouTuber, really big YouTuber. I won't say who they are because they told me this in confidence. And no one knows that we've had even a conversation, so no one would know who this person is. But they're a really big YouTuber. And they said that the YouTube algorithm and the AI is being trained in Middle Eastern countries. So most of it's being outsourced. Countries like Qatar, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, whatever, I don't know, are being outsourced by companies like YouTube to like guide their AI or like scrape for their AI. And what's happening is that the more stricter Muslim sort of idea of what is acceptable online is coming out in the YouTube algorithm too. So there is certain words, and this person told me a selection of the words, certain words that are seen as negative and can have your stuff shadow banned or you pulled because they don't agree with, say, being gay over in the Middle East. So you have to understand there's a lot more complicated. There's a training of an AI model going on behind the scenes at YouTube. And a lot of the decisions aren't made by humans. They're reviewed by humans. So if your review is concise enough and coherent enough, and I know there was a lot of people who don't argue with YouTube, but like, oh, it's a major beast, rah, 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 rah. Well, it's a method to get through to people, and most people, Yeah, you'll talk to loads of truthers. Some of them, like 1% of truthers, will be like, "I won't watch YouTube. I'll only watch Rumble or Rockfin or Odyssey or whatever." But 99% of people will just watch YouTube. You can't stop it. You can't change it. It's habit now because we've had YouTube for so long and we use it for so many other official mainstream stuff. So if you want to go watch a selection of memes or the best Vines in history, sorry, I just love Vines. Going back before the modern memes and going back to the Vines. If you want to watch that, then you end up on YouTube. If you want to watch most news programs and stuff like that, you end up on YouTube. Rumble, they've tried to put a lot of the independent minded people onto Rumble. They've tried to force. I think they're going to pull the rug from under people eventually. But I also think it's a way for them to keep people in a place that's safe and doesn't have many options. It's really crap platform, Rumble. I really don't like using it. It's just, it feels like they don't put any work into it. They don't try to make it better. They just get some of the big stars in and then don't do much about it. Platforms like Rockfin can be really hard at times when you're trying to put stuff up. Don't have as many options, but then are much better people on there. You say that, the range. I mean, the medium, the mode, the average person on Rockfin is much wiser and more savvy than those on YouTube. But at the end of the day, good people watch YouTube still. It's not just everybody bad, so I'm going to be still sticking them out there. So I don't use that as a gauge. YouTube, I don't use as a gauge anymore. I did at one point, but I kind of like, it's a really easy, simplistic way to look at things. But I've got to put the information everywhere. If I'm going to get people to bother looking at the information, I've got to say, everybody's got to see the information. If they ban me or try and ban me, then I got to argue against that. That's the whole process of not giving up and fighting the power and all of that. You have to actually fight. You can't just be like, "Oh, I'm going to give up and look, YouTube are terrible because they banned me." Well, you have to try to stop them doing that. So back in the early COVID, sometimes they just took down channels completely and people would have to start up their channels again, and some people didn't. Like Richie Allen, he stopped. Corbett, New World Next Week, James Evan Pilato, he stopped as well. And that was really sad. That's really sad. That's sad for a lot of people. I know why they're doing it, and they're saying, "Oh, you've got to make your stand, and you got to boycott the power base and all." Yeah, I understand, but what you do is you go into the void where no one will find you, who's not already come out of there too. We're supposed to be changing minds. We're supposed to be saying to people, "Look, this is the truth." We don't do that if everybody already says, "Oh yeah, we know. You've told us already. We're all on the same boat." Oh yeah, okay, so how are we going to convert anybody and change their mind? We can't do it by going to the places that they are not, because they haven't found it yet, because they're still on YouTube. You got to go to places like YouTube. I like the F words. Oh, my internet is butty. I don't know what F word you mean. I've never used an F word. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever, ever. Never use an F word. Ever, ever. Never. Do you like Sonia Poulton? Do I like Sonia Poulton? Yes, I do. I can't help but to like her. She's kind of like, she's mumsy to me, and I just find her she seems like a very sweetheart. She's got a very sweet heart, and I trust her as well, which is rare. But Abby Roberts is great company, so we will trust it for a bit. Yeah. Abby Roberts left last week, though. It's true. Yeah. But that's the thing is, I get you, but people leave these things for their own reasons, and they come for their own reasons. I like I say, I've been told quite concisely I'm allowed to say and report on anything I like. That's pretty cool. I like it. Like Frimptle, Fugulus, and Fullerim Bubble. I'm not sure if that last one, Fullerim Bubble, is real, is it? All the F words. Ooh. Ellen likes all the F words. There's some naughty ones. Great interview with you and Sean Stone. Another one of those, please. Adam, baby, it's a boy. I listen. You're another one who's been always support me on things like X, Twitter. Thank you for all your help. I really enjoyed talking to Sean Stone. I think me and him have got a lot in common. A lot of same research interest and focus. I mean, he went deep into William Yandell Elliott years before I even come across him, and there's so much to chew away on at that it's really interesting. It's the start of the New World Order, and speaking with someone it's pretty interesting because of course he's Oliver Stone's son, and he was dead as well. So that was interesting to talk to a dead man. For those who don't know, I was meant to talk to Sean Stone on I think it was like a Friday or something. We were meant to do an interview, and I woke up. It was like probably about 3 hours towards the interview. I got up. I was looking forward to it, kind of just going through the process. It was really early over where he is, so he would have still been in bed. And I thought, I'll go and check what the mainstream says about Sean Stone, seeing as that he's always being given such a painted with the conspiracy brush all over the place. Why not go and check out what the mainstream? So I went on, I typed in Sean Stone, and I looked on his Wikipedia, and it said he was dead. Now, I'm not one to believe Wikipedia, but it said he died about a couple of hours after I had last spoken to him. And I was like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. That can't be right. And I went out, checked his IMDb, and his IMDb said he was dead. And then I went online. I was like, what's going on, people? Why is this happening? And what is going on? I'm really confused, and it's freaking me out. And a load of people come back and said, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. And they sent me loads of articles. But it was an article about a 31-year-old called Sean Stone, not a 39-year-old called Sean Stone, and who was also a movie producer. And it turned out, yes, it was all erroneous. We ended up having to reorganize it. Yeah, Kit the cat. She's pretty cute. Is Kit the cat. Yeah, she's a bloody idiot. That's what she is. Okay, there's too much effing going on here. Gold Eagle Media. Truthers of the world unite. Looking forward to your show. This is a guy I like. He did a brilliant video for one of our was meant to be for one of our interviews of me as here's Johnny and The Shining. All work and no play makes Johnny Vedmore a dull boy. You were very good. I liked it. Hello, how are you? You should all go and follow Gold Eagle Media. It's really good conversation. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I'm just hoping that it'll be good. Dick is a good guy. Talking about Dick Dellenpole, he's just a really just a lovely guy. Like I say, he's in Birch's Colonel John Birch's regiment of foot, which my dad set up in the Seal Knot. Oh, there you go. Another one, Paul Cardin, another of my favourites around here. Rip Steve Harley. Hello, Paul. Can't remember. I get a feeling you're an Everton fan. I hope you're. Are you a Liverpool fan by any chance? You know I'm a United fan. Just say I'm a Manchester United fan. Just to say, I've been a Man United fan since I was about 7 years old, 8 years old. Just to say, on a day like this, with such a comeback, 2-2. ended up winning 4-3. Oh my God, in extra time. What a shocker. Anyway, for those who don't care about football, sorry. TNT censor cats a-holes. Yes, they do. They won't let my cat see. They won't let you look inside my cat's a-hole at all. I'm gonna have to make sure that all my cats are murdered before I go on there. That's what the boss told me. He said, "Yeah, you have cats. I have ways of making you murder your cat immediately. On the first episode, you shall do it in public." That's what they said. Oh my God, how am I supposed to say this name? Demoto? Oh, there you go. Demoto 1. Let's say the free moto. The Freemoto 1. What is the news around Cape Middleton? Well, the news around Cape Middleton is mainly soil. Nice soil and limestone. I'm sorry. Dark jokes afoot in Britain because Kate Middleton has been murdered by her husband and her father-in-law. No. Kate Middleton is probably still alive in a box underground being tortured by ferrets. Yes, anyway, let's continue. Alphabet Cat. Yes, Sonia Poulton does good stuff. She is very good at red pilling the normies. That's what we gotta do. Thanks, Ellen. Again, Ellen, you've been there for me. I really appreciate it. I listen with the TNT show. I'm just going, and this is what I do. Like, remember, guys, think about this now. Who would you most want? This is part of what this. Who would you most want to see with their feet held to the flames, to the fire? Who I might be able to get on. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get Benjamin Netanyahu or Emmanuel Macron's wife, husband, whatever, on the show. Of course, I can't. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going. That's just not going to be possible. I'm not going to be able to do that. Well, we can always try, but this is the point. We will try. I'm also going to attempt. Yeah, can you guess who I'm going to attempt? I'm going to go for see if RFK Jr. Maybe I can get RFK Jr. on. You know, he likes doing the rounds of the indie media, don't they? Doesn't he? That would be interesting. Me and him could have a proper showdown. I'm just going to be very rude, and I'm going to again check Rockfin because Rockfin messages don't actually come up in the chat that I got here, and if I turn it on this computer, it puts out the sync out in the sound. So I've just got to check elsewhere and see if there's anybody commenting on any, because I did promise some guys last time. Some guys I met down an alleyway. Now, I did promise some guys that I would actually talk about their comments again. Oh my God, there you go. It's not even letting me see whether or not. No, it's not even. Whoa. It's not even airing this episode, I don't think. What a pain in the ass. Listen, if you're normally on Rockfin, I apologize profusely for how completely and utterly frustrating and annoying that platform is at times, because I do kind of hope it works. I probably got the most subscribers on any platform I've got on Rockfin, yet still it doesn't let me stream properly. I have no idea what it is that I'm doing wrong. It was showing me that I was streaming earlier, and now it's showing me that I'm not streaming. So it's a very frustrating old time, that's for sure. And I'm very sad. If anybody knows how to use Rockfin and understands where I'm going wrong, then please let me know, because I haven't got a clue what is wrong, and I don't know how to change it at all. So it's really frustrating, and it just ends up with me touching the same button, looking at it and being all confused and saying, oh well, I give up. So I need help. I need help, people. If anyone deserves a leg up, it's you, Johnny. Thank you, Ollie's granddad. I'm going to use this. I'm not going to waste this opportunity to do a load of talking, and it'll allow me loads of scope for being able to fund my own work, fund my own site, to do my own research, and not have to worry constantly about whether I can pay bills or rent and stuff like that. Because at the moment, a lot of my time was trying to find a way to chase enough that I'd be able to not die at the end of the month and have some food. And it's been close. It's been with support of the likes of you. I skipped over that. Sorry. I liked Sonia Poulton's documentary Pears in Parliament. I won't say that word completely, just because, the algorithm might get me. The algorithm's going to get me whatever, but there you go. Yes, it was very good. She got in a bit of trouble for that as well, because that's what happens when you fight the power. They come after you, and then they find that with Sonia Poulton, she's savvy about the law. She's very interesting. Right, I like her. There's a whole anti-Macron French rebellion spoofing on the older Mr. Macron, and I believe she's transgender. I got there's one guy who's on Twitter who follows me who really does not like this transgender narrative. This person's trans. It's used so much. It's used so much. They say, this person's transgender. And that person's transgender. Don't you see everybody's transgender? That is just over the top. Not everybody who you want to be transgender is transgender. But in this case, it just seriously look a little bit fruity, doesn't it? Seriously does look a little bit fruity. But the problem again is, and this is the thing that comes out, most of the evidence is that, look at this picture of this person, how identical it is to this person. That's fine, but we're in the age of AI technology, and you can fake pictures really easily. Hence Kate Middleton. So I just don't know. Unless we see their woo-woo, we just don't know. So show us your woo-woo, Mr. Macron, or Mrs. Macron, or Mr. Mrs. Macron, or Mrs. Mr. Macron, or Shim Macron, whatever you want to call yourself. Show us your woo-woo. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Can we watch on here? I will look to, because Sonia Poulton puts up a load of her clips or episodes to YouTube. So hopefully I will be doing the same. And I have been able, because I can, I've got, hopefully this will all go well, and I'll be paid. Then that means I can upgrade on things like StreamYard, and I can stream to more platforms, and I can do all of that. So hopefully I'll try and make sure that at least the some of the interviews will come up on here. And it would be a waste not to. She is, Ellen. Yes, I don't know what that means. Evening, chums. Evening, says Rosworth. Hello. Hello, Rosworth. Happy to have you back again. Yes, and Rumble. I suppose you're talking about being able to watch the TNT Radio shows. Oh, just had a little pause there. Ooh, a little pause. One of the partners set up Fox News was Rees-Mogg's father. Yes, William Rees-Mogg. Yes, William Rees-Mogg, who I've had Richard Poe on the podcast, on the Newspace podcast, talking about Rees-Mogg's father, William Rees-Mogg, and how he thinks he was George Soros's mentor and handler. And he's got good reason to think that as well. He was very involved in young Soros's life. So William Rees-Mogg is a very interesting character. The Rees-Moggs in general have a very a big family tree, and lots of interesting intelligence ties. I would think that they're both intelligence. Fox News is really interesting setup. The people who were involved in Fox News in many ways include Roger Ailes, who was, in my opinion, one of the mentors of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a Republican-leaning mentor who, 10 years before he's mentoring Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would be hanging out with the guys who murdered Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s father. So, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. The Baroness. I am honored to have the Baroness on here. I love you. So I was talking about wine. And his partner is lovely, and she is the Baroness. And hey, Sonia and I can't wait to have you on board, Johnny. Oh my God! And then comes Wayne. You're a good man. Say hello to Monkey and Bella. I do love him. You see, this is the thing though, is that the TNT lot. I just heard Monkey in the distance. I didn't even know he was home. He was like, hello. I heard him in the distance responding to you. But this is the thing about the TNT lot, is a majority of them are real people who know each other and are really good friends and are really nice and are really got the same ethos, the same ideas, want to do the same thing, want to create the same stuff. I mean, it's really important stuff. Yes, Yeadon's a great guy. He went out on a limb to help people. He did. He's a really nice guy. I like him a lot. I do like him a lot. Have you heard of Operation Gladio? Yes, I have heard of Operation Gladio. The problem is I hear so many different operations all the time, but Operation Gladio, oh my God. Soon it's remembering the titles. I remember what they did, but remembering the titles, that was like the creation of agents. It's if someone wants to tell me the exact definition of what happened with Operation Gladio, please do. It'd be better if someone else defines it and I go, yes, and then all of this happened, because I know all of the details and context. Just sometimes my mind doesn't remember the operation names. I can remember some of them, like Operation FF Fat Fuck, which was the one to take down King Farouk in Egypt, the first US coup in any country organized by the CIA. And then, Operation Paperclip and all of these different things. But really, there's there's so many different ways, so many different operations. And really, I know a lot of because I think Steinem and stuff were part of Operation Gladio as well. Right. I know TNT likes to have guest interviews, but I would like to hear your take and opinion. You talking like this rather than in an interview. This is a good format. Right, agreed. Thank you, Golden Eagle Media. I agree with that. I think that there should be room for that at the start, like format wise. They are a radio station, yeah. So what they're trying to do is create a radio station that runs like a radio station. You have news on the hour. You have the presenter come on, give you kind of a rundown of what the day's going to be about, or the show's going to be about, like 10-15 minutes, and then you get on to the first guests, break, second guest, break. A lot of that then doesn't allow for this sort of conversation and for understanding stuff, but that is going to be very much at the start. I have to say, I will wait probably about a month and a half before I even think about going off format too much with this. I got to get the job down and understand the basics before I can start saying, right, I want to insert this here and I want to insert that, but I will want to do that. And I think there's a lot of places for two-way conversations, but also for like in a sense, training, trying to help people understand where they've been tricked, maybe guides, things like that. So eventually I'd want to probably cut it down to maybe 3 to 2 guests a day rather than like 4 guests, so that I could fit in some other stuff too. But that is all going to depend on how the show goes, what it's going to be like. Because really what I wanted to do is make something that's kind of about the octopus, every single tentacle and where it is. And I want to make something different. So one of the things I think is really missing is the context of who people really work for. So we have our representatives, the people who are supposed to supposedly represent us in government. Yet when you investigate them, they actually represent a load of other people. That's what I do. I find out the other people they represent, and then I expose that. That's something that I want to incorporate within that, is basically showing people the octopus and the tentacles of the octopus. So I have like certain base ideas of what I want to do, and then I have later ideas of what I'd love to do, including, I mean, I've talked about this about an X space as well, but I'd love to do something quiz wise. I know that sounds a little tongue-in-cheek, but you know, if every Thursday was quiz, like for the last half hour of every Thursday show was like quiz night or something, that would be pretty fun, especially if I got the right people on and ended up with a league. Oh, that would be good. But that's really important. Here you go. I'm gonna have to write that down. The Sheep Farm Boys. Some of my favorite guys. Not only just in the way they are, their manner, their brains. They're so switched on. They're very much from the same sort of. The Sheep Farm Boys are from very much the same sort of background as I'm from. Working class, fathers probably in the mills or in the steel works or whatever, and they're really kind-hearted people, really kind guys. I had a few conversations in my darkest hours over the past year. I had a couple of conversations with the Sheep Farm Boys where they've just like, kept me focused. A load of people, gave me their experience and said, listen, this is mine. This is how I dealt with the same problems you're going through now. And be strong, brother. And those guys are really important. Definitely on the list. On the list. Put them on the list. We will get them. And they would, I'm sure they'd be interested. That's what perpetrated the Nazis in Ukraine and led today's situation. Ellen, what were we talking about there? Operation Gladio. Of course. Right. What else are we doing? Wait 1 second. So I'm just going to read it out. Operation Gladio is a code name for a clandestine stay-behind operation of armed resistance that were organized in Western Europe, founded in 1948, and subsequently by NATO, formed in 1949, and by the CIA, established in 1947, all around the same time. Isn't that suspicious? In collaboration with several European intelligence agencies during the Cold War. Although Gladio specifically refers to Italian branch of the NATO stay-behind organizations, Operation Gladio is used as an informal name for all of them. Stay-behind operations were perpetrated in many NATO member countries and some neutral countries. According to several Western European researchers, the operation involved the use of assassination, psychological warfare, false flag operations to delegitimize left-wing parties. So in a sense, because I mean, that's really it's a lot of Steinem's early operations were a lot like that. But also Operation Condor was kind of an extension of Operation Gladio. It was like the Latin American version of that as well. A lot of this is all just different ways to mess up the Soviet Union when it was around. Not around anymore. Do you like Eva Vardingerbrook. I don't know who Eva Vardingerbrook is. Who is Eva Vardingerbrook? And should I know her? There's a. Are you saying I should have Eva Vanderbrook on the show? Or is she someone else, and you're asking about whether she can be trusted? Because I'd like to know, because then I'll note it down if she's a suggestion for going on the show. Dr. John Campbell is definitely someone who, listen, there was a moment in the pandemic. I got to be honest, there was a moment in the pandemic where I wasn't too. I lost my trust very quickly in Dr. John Campbell, just because he went suddenly in establishment line for a while and then went back again. But he was very honest from the outset, from the start, and as the more evidence occurred, the more he said the right thing, or said what was really going on. You need to get James Delingpole on as well. Well, I wouldn't mind getting both the Delingpoles and get Dick Delingpole and James Delingpole. And James Delingpole, who's now he's a complicated one, James Delingpole, really, isn't he? On as well. Scrump Monkey, they have their own YouTube channel. What Scrump Monkey is James Delingpole's channel. The Delingpoles are very interesting. Bamas is brilliant, really overlooked. He's honestly, he's one of the best around. I don't think people will really understand quite how Bamas gets really excited by certain things. I know that sounds like I'm belittling him in some way, but I'm not. He gets excited by certain aspects of things that happen, and he gets really into them and really just like rides on the back of them like a wave, like he's surfing them, like I'm gonna find out all the information, while everybody else is just like, but why would you want to do that? And then later on, when everybody worked out why he's doing it, they go back and they get to watch all the different, like the sort of the timeline of Jason Bamas's way of thinking, how it changed and swerved due to his experience and his interactions. And I love that, because Jason Bamas doesn't claim to know, he goes to find out, and then he tells you the results, or he shows you the results. I really massively overlooked. No, not Dr. John Campbell. That guy's untrustworthy. I suspect he's a Freemason. Again, like I say, I lost a lot of love for Dr. John Campbell just when he seemed to turn to the establishment narrative just at the point of the vaccines were being rolled out, which was a really suspicious time to turn. Same like with Aaron Mate and stuff. Oh yeah, everybody should get vaccinated. Everybody should get vaccinated. And then he's like, oh yes, I'm against them. Oh yeah, like you were with the Syria. No, I wasn't. I heard everything. Oh yeah, now I know everything about Syria. Oh. So I understand that, but I still, in that case, then I'd like to talk to him and ask him about the question of trust. That would be really good. Isn't it about time that we start asking the question? So maybe it's not just the person you think I should have on you should be noting here, but also you should be noting why I should have them on and what I should be looking to counter, and I'll see if I agree with you. Can't say that I'll do what anybody else thinks, but we'll see. We'll see. I agree, Mayday. How about Robert Epstein? Is Robert Epstein Jeffrey Epstein's brother? Is that his name? I thought his name was something else. Oh, man. Again, Sunday night, ask me anything. I always forget everything. It's because it's always like it's the end of the week. It's such a strange one. Mark Devlin, that'd be a guy I'd love to have on. I've been on. I think I've been on his show twice to talk about stuff, and I got so excited. I love talking to these guys, but then they were often the ones asking me a load of questions about a load of stuff, getting really excited about it. But then I don't get to see all of their knowledge unless I watch all of their podcasts and get to see, how much they know. David Clues. Wait 1 second. Oh my lord, what a surprise. My batteries all die at the same time like a dick. Already contacting him, Johnny. Do it. Get them all. All of them. We want them all. We want to talk to them all. A lot of these guys, David Clues of UNN. What's the UNN? What's the other N? United Nations of Nations? I know. I'd be very interested to know. Or the something news network. I don't know. Glad someone's watching and doing all of this. Mark Devlin really knows about the dark side to music industry. Wow, that'd be really interesting. I mean, what would we want to talk to Mark Devlin about? Because there's some really dark sides of the music industry. I mean, I'm really interested about Scooter Braun. That's someone who I'm interested about. I think Scooter Braun's a bad one. John Campbell is a nurse. Still. Yeah. Well, like I say, John Campbell, right at the start, brilliant. Right at the end now, brilliant. In between, I was really upset with him. Like, really upset with him. I felt like at the moment when he had to stand up, he didn't stand up. But still, he stood up on the grand scheme of things. He stood up more than the majority stood up. So we have to come down to a point where are we willing to give people the benefit of the doubt? On COVID, mostly no. There you go. It's called civilized discourse, you bastard. No, I've added that. We are allowed to disagree and still respect each other. And indeed, Richard, I really do like the fact that we do have civilized discourse. Someone close to me is working on your manifest as I type. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. The guys are on it. See, this is going to be a different level. If we could get some really good people, I tell you, guys, if you're in the background typing down the guests that I really want on, okay, Elon Levy is top of that list, the IDF spokesman. Get him on, and I will dance through the street. No, I won't say what. I won't do that. I was just about to go naked, roaming through Cardiff naked. I better not. You only bloody go and do it, won't you? I know. But I will. I will mud wrestle your boyfriend if you do it, Baroness, my love. Ray J, there was an ex-space last night with an ex-colonel talking about Operation Gladio, going back to Eisenhower. A lot of these operations, though, I mean, this is why I have so much trouble remembering a lot of these. A lot of these operations were sprawling. We call them Operation Gladio, but they were about 20, 30 different operations that were all running that was the same type of operations and were all under like an umbrella. And I can never remember which ones are which, to be perfectly honest. This is why I do a lot of writing and I write down my research. so that I'll know it then and I might forget it later. But at least I've written it down. Ray J, disagreement used to be normal. Seek answers to questions you need answered. Today, it's about answers that can't be questioned. Oh, you. Today, it's about answers that can't be questioned. Quite true. I love disagreeing with people. I love it even more if they don't shout at me and get angry. And even my best friends, even my beautiful monkey, my brother from another mother, will we disagree. Oh, I mean, because we're friends, we disagree about whatever we don't agree on. So we always come to a point where we disagree. We always come to a point where we clash heads with each other and say no, and then we have to convince the other person, don't we? We have to actually convince the other person. You don't change someone's mind by not convincing them. And sometimes, what I find amazing about a passionate conversation that you believe in loads is often the reason why you get so angry and passionate about it is because even though you believe it, you have a doubt. You have a doubt that you haven't yourself questioned or fully gone across, and that doubt lingers and makes you feel like you have to be more defensive. And what it is the protection of that one doubt that you are not willing to look at or willing to inspect. And I think that doubt, that lingering doubt in the back of your head is the thing that causes a lot of that conflict. Didn't see that, but I'm aware of what they were up to. Yeah, aware of what they were up to. These nasty bastards. The clattering of keyboards. Yeah. Indeed. Thomas Kingston was the Thomas Kingston was the Duke of Kent, ex-UK Freemason, son-in-law. So are you talking about with Kate, though? When you said, are you talking about Kate Middleton, Thomas Kingston? And then when you say Kate, when you say Thomas Kingston was the Duke of Kent, what, he's not the Duke of Kent anymore? And what does son-in-law mean? I don't know what that means. You probably know what that means. Tell me. I like to know more. I don't know everything. The clattering keyboard is deafening. Manifesting for you. Excellent. Manifest me, people. Rosworth would be great. Oh, yes. Okay, here you go. Manifest this. Jesse Matchy, available on Twitter. You can DM him on Twitter, and he will be well up for this. Would be great if you had Jesse Matchy on for a long chat. Be good to hear his voice rather than a massive Twitter threads. He has so much info. Yes, I'm not sure if you heard the Twitter files we were on, the X Files with X Files, amazing. With about the Epstein files, X Spaces. That was really interesting. And Jesse Matchy, when I got into that room, someone had come to me and said, "Go to this room now. They're about to start. You send them all your work, and they'll probably let you on." And I went on and sent loads of work, and they let me on. And once I was on there, I was like, well, I should bloody do this to all the people that I respect who are about the Epstein case and get them to get on here as well. We just ended up with everybody on there. So I contacted Jason Bamas, I contacted Jesse Matchy, I contacted Ian Carroll. I think I might have contacted, might have already been on there. I contacted a few other people as well. Charlie Murphy and others, and I said, come on, quick, come on. And when Jesse got on there, he just started laying out information, but it's so thick. There's so much of it. With Jesse, we've got to concentrate on one area. He wanted to do a double pod or triple podcast, me, him, and Noor Bin Laden, on Noor Bin Laden's podcast. Noor Bin Laden, I think, is a great woman. She seems like a fantastic woman. Really, I instantly I get I don't get that about a lot of people, but I get a really good feeling about her intentions and etc. So I tend to trust my instincts in that respect. So it'd be another one. Noor bin Laden would be another one I'd love to have on the show and speak to about stuff as well. But Jesse Matchy, yeah, most definitely on for a long chat. I don't know how possible it'll be to have long chats at the start. Maybe we'll be able to get him for the a full hour of the time, but it all depends. At the start, like I say, format wise, I'm going to stick to the format for the start, but then I will start to make the show my own before much time. But Jesse is, I have to say, he's a lovely human being. He's a really nice guy. He's got a lot of information, so much more about some of the stuff, especially when it comes to Melanie Walker, her relationship with Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein. That stuff is fascinating. And a lot of my research is when it comes to the Epstein case later, is about the victims more, their testimony, and the focus on other operations to take down Jeffrey Epstein. Other than that, a lot of my stuff is 2004 and before, and he does a lot about his Epstein's operations 2004 and afterwards. So I find a lot of what he does just completely and amazingly interesting. Would be great to have him on. Johnny, do you believe Kali Shai Burgandy's story about a childhood trafficking to royal family and Jeffrey Epstein? I don't know who Kali Shai Burgandy is, Kelly. I do not know. Listen, DM me anything about that. I'll be happy to look into it. I do know that there's a lot of stories from people who claim they're victims. I mean, everybody knows my work. I know that there's some people who claim they're victims of Jeffrey Epstein who are victims of something else, victims of an ego, victims of a victim complex, victims of a necessity to gain attention from other people by using something that you know, intelligence agencies aren't going to, or authorities aren't going to comment about. So, you know, a lot of people don't actually know what happened behind closed doors at Epstein. So some people just say, "Oh, I was there and I did this," and they'll get compensated for it. So you know, who knows? Who knows? But give me some information. Give me some more information. This is what I do. If I don't know, I get a little bit of information and then I go swimming. The Hill. No, no, no. Hello, Marion Hyatt. Obviously, that's a question that comes from something I've already said, and I'm not sure what it is yet. So, expand on the hill. The hill. Expand, please. And hello, Marianne. Antarctic Monkey with Thomas Kingston was Prince of Kent's head UK Freemason son-in-law, found dead from gunshot wounds. Oh no! Don't go. This is all getting so much more interesting as you say more words, as you write more words, Antarctic Monkey. The more I get interested in what's happening. Unity News Network. Yes. Okay. I've heard of the Unity News Network, Simon. Hello, Simon. I didn't say proper hello to you. Who are Unity News Network then? Say it again. Patrick Henningsen is still in there. Yeah. I know someone who used to live near Angela, who used to live near Patrick Henningsen, said he's a really nice guy. Really nice. I met him at the last Comcast event, but we didn't say much to each other. I just introduced myself. He seemed a little bit shy, to be honest. I am a bit scary when I come up to people going, "Hello, how are you?" And they go, "Oh." Anyway, louder with Crowder. What is this? Someone to have on? I'm basically, that would be basically like tingling Ben Shapiro's balls, wouldn't it? He's like on the periphery of that sort of alt-right sort of thing. I love it. Yeah, if I could get Steven Crowder on, yeah, all right. He would be an interesting one to have an argument with about something. I'm sure we could find an argument to be had. I like some of his. I think the argument I would have with Steven Crowder, the first thing that I would have an issue with would be, why do you, or would be the question of why they pick on kids. Him, Ben Shapiro. It's a real interesting way to create a fallacy where you say basically, oh, look, my argument beats your argument because I'm a grown man who is trained in logic and you're a university student who ain't got a clue what's going on. If those people were to talk with people who were a little bit more savvy, maybe they would get slightly different answers. But they also, number one, take on a subject that I think we can all of the people here basically agree with, seems like a psyop. So the whole transgender movement as a whole feels like contrived and psyopy. And so who benefits from the psyop? Well, people who know how to manipulate the psyop and know it's a psyop. What do? Look like they're in the right by standing on the right side of something that's obviously wrong. Okay, so what's a psyop? You create something that's obviously wrong, obviously causes people to be confused, angry, for them to have a visceral reaction, and then you supply them with saviors. Saviors like who? Like, I know, Rubin, like Ben Shapiro, like Jordan B. Peterson, like Steven Crowder, people who will say, oh no, this is what sense and logic looks like. Now, also, let's support Israel. See how they slip it in? They're slipping it in through the back door, if you know what I mean. Yes, very clever. So I would ask Steven Crowder about that. I would probably be a little bit combative with him about the fact that they pick on kids to make their point because it's going to win an argument and they're easy to win arguments. There you go. Hey up, Simon. Remember me? Been a while since I was listening to UNN. Ah, right. Okay. There you go. The Baroness presents. Yeah, he just off for a couple of weeks. Right. Okay, that's Henningsen. He's just off for a couple of weeks. Oh, here we go. At Ray J, it was in the chat room last night in Twitter about the Project Gladio going back before Kennedy. They stated it was responsible for the assassination and 9/11. Yeah. I mean, like I say, these blanket project names, there's multiple masses of projects under that, and people just keep. It's the same type of project. So in a sense, that's like. I wouldn't call it a project. I'd say root the whole, like it'd have a tree, wouldn't it? A tree, an operational tree, and all of these different operations are all part of Project Gladio. So, another note, Baroness, my love, if there's Elon Levy, top of the list, yeah? Along there, joint top, RFK Jr. You get me talking to RFK Jr., we'll have ourselves a show. And I will not hold off from that. So you get RFK Jr. for me, and I will dance through Cardiff naked. All right. I won't. I'm gonna go back on that. Hello, Goldie, mate. Ooh, Eduardo. I love a long one. And look, he's on X, so he's gotta be one of them proper accounts. Those ones with the little blue thing on it. Because that's a lot of words for X. Hello, mate. This is what I think Eduardo sounds like. Oh, what do you think he sounds like? You think he sounds like he's Latin American? Hello, mate. Be interested to hear your thought on Fishy Rishi. Okay, we'll do that. Hello, mate. Be interested to hear your thoughts on Fishy Rishi's rise to power. Read your article the other day about how he went to Stanford Business School, but none of his professors recall him. Or read an article, sorry, the other day, but none of the professors recall him. That's interesting. Those Ivy League universities, happy hunting ground for the intelligence agencies, and he seemed to have sleuthed his way into power through a gimme conservative seat. Then you've got Starmer with a history of rubbing shoulders with MI5. We know about the CIA, MI5, Mossad links. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't think, Eduardo, that you are paranoid, my friend. I think you make a very good point about Rishi Sunak. May I say that I call them now Rishi Starmer and Keir Sunak because they're indistinguishable from each other anyway. So this hunting season is Rishi Starmer versus Keir Sunak, and they're both a pair of fishy Rishis, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm very interested to let I got so much work to do that I've held off from looking into Keir Starmer too much because I know that I'll find a load of stuff that will lead to a bigger investigation and so on and so forth. Got to be honest, I'm organizing and behind the scenes working with someone else who's helping with the research for a British election article that goes back to the death of John Smith, and then Blair's rise to power and Brown's rise to power. And that's really something that I was interested in doing for the election. When it comes down to Rishi's a banker. He's been placed into power. He's been placed into power to enact certain things, and also to give a bit of normalcy towards these sort of like bankers going into power without being elected. The fact that neither Truss or Sunak were elected by the people should disgust us and make us think that there's something wrong, because it does seem like that for a lot of people, that it's really they're shuffling around to make sure that the best member of the intelligence services gets into power. I will look into Rishi's rise to power, but I also see him as a useless tool. And I tend not to concentrate on the people who are in power at the time, just because it leads to the obvious rather than something else. But I will have a look into it. I would be more interested to look into Keir Starmer's history. And anybody else who knows anything about Keir Starmer and his history, get in contact with me. Thanks for that, Eduardo. That's an interesting thought, and one that I'll think about. I will. Hey, Simon, remember me? Been a while. Oh, yes, it's the same one, I think. Take it as you find it, JV. We trust your judgment. Well, I'm just going to listen. While they're saying to me, I can report on whatever I want, talk about whatever I want, whatever way. I'm in love with that. They've not, and not only that is that the side of it that I know a load of people who work there, and I trust them implicitly. And they've worked there for a long time. They've been there for a long time. That's pretty important. Right. You must interview James Roguski about the WHO treaty, etc. May 24th. May 24 is crucial date deadline. Okay. I'll do it. I'll try and have him on. Note him down, James Roguski. I have to go through, make sure that we've got all of these at the end. Love the long plays. I love the long plays. Tell you, I'm probably going to finish in about 10 minutes. Put this at a nice 2-hour mark. Thank you for joining me. And it's gone by very quickly, I have to say. Just been talking about lots of stuff. It feels like it's been 10, 15 minutes. So it's quite amazing. Dark Commission, getting kicked off YouTube. UNN lost a lot of followers. I bet. I tell you, Simon, one of the people that I get a feeling I've been on with you before, and I get a feeling we've met and talked before. But what's his name? Jeremy. Oh, that's going to be annoying. It's going to be annoying indeed. I'll quickly check, see if I can't check on there because my phone's dead. There was one person who had a massive channel. I mean, they millions and millions and millions of subscribers, and they completely leveled them. And they slowly are coming back up to have that much centralized power. I think that's what Rumble did as well. Be careful of Rumble, or be careful of all these platforms. They kind of centralize the power, have everybody go there, and then all of the content is there. And at one point, they may just pull the rug away from everybody. It's really hard to know how. This is why I like to spread across all platforms. Like, not only put things up on YouTube, but put them up on Rockfin, Rumble, whatever. Try and put them up to as many places as possible, because you just got to make sure you spread out all of your cards at the moment. Sorry to hear about your troubles there, Simon. I hope I can imagine. It's such a shame that you can't get those followers back just by saying to them, "Hey, come on back," because you can't communicate with them anymore. And to them, you just disappear, and they don't think about it, do they? Post World War II movement, anti-communist allegedly, anti-Russian in reality, the birth of the US empire. Yeah, most definitely. John Rappaport as well would make for a good guess. Yes, John Rappaport and Michael Rappaport. Let's get Michael Rappaport on as well, shall we? This is what I mean, like Elon Levy, Michael Rappaport, all of these guys. If we're probably not going to be able to get them on. We're not. I mean, they're probably not. They know they manage their shit really well, but if we can get them on, I'd love to have a real proper one-on-one with some of these guys. I watched on D Live 2, liked your shows best actually. I was signed to Simon. Honeysuckle Creek, Matthew Lacroix, Grandmaster Wolf, Paul Wallace are three names for guests that I can think of for TNT. Note them down. Let's note them down. Matthew Lacroix, Matthew the Cross, Grandmaster Wolf, and Paul Wallace. Now, I don't know these guys. I'd love to know more about these guys. So love to. Hope we get to see more of you than interviews. I know we get to hear your take on things within the interviews, but I prefer to hear what a guest has to say. This format here is good. Yeah. It's good if you want to just talk with people and have conversation with a lot of people as well. It's really nice. It's really nice to have a conversation with you guys. JV needs to move fast through the chat, or we'll be here till Tuesday. Oh my God. Yeah, it is getting. Oh my God! Look, it is. There's a lot. There is a lot. Oh my God! I just went down. Right, let's go. Back up. You're quite right, Ray J. I'm probably gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to get used to the fact that more people are asking me more questions, and so I'm not going to be able to answer all of them. and I can't just go through the chat anymore. Let's go up, but there are a couple of ones that I switched. God, yeah, you're gonna have to get through a few, so I'm gonna squeeze through a few now. 4 guests, that's a lot. 2 would be optimum. 1 hour each is enough for a detailed conversation. Yeah, I know, but I got 2 hours. 4 guests is hard, but that format a lot works well for that. But there will be somewhere it'll be 2 on 1 hour and then 1 on the next hour. I'll try and make sure big guests will have longer time whenever possible. We'll work this out as we go as well. Ben Governor, the butt plug rabbi. What is the Emperor doing, allowing you out and commenting on other channels? Simon Gold, yes. Oh, I'm gonna skip through some of this again. Love TNT, been a big supporter since I discovered them. Good. Hydra Operative, hello. I like Adidas. Cause created by Nazi, Heil Hydra. Hey, I tell you what, people see me with the Adidas all the time. I gotta be honest. There's a lady who bought all my clothes for me. I know I don't even ask for it. There's a woman who I know. I'll just there's a woman who lives by me who however much I you know, whatever I do, she keeps buying me stuff and leaving it outside my house. I know that does sound like first world troubles and all of that, you know, but there's a lot of Adidas. She's like she knows I wear them, so she just keeps buying me Adidas. There were a load of people who were like, "Oh, you love Adidas," just because I had one Adidas top once upon a time. And then this woman came along and just bought me a load of them. And I kept saying, "Oh, just stop. And then I learned the more I said just stop, the more she did it. And the more I didn't say stop, the more she stopped. So it's complicated, man. Yeah, hail Hydra. Please interview David Musa Pidcock. I think you'll find him interesting. Okay, we'll try and get him on. Would be good to get normie mainstream people on. Anna Breeze did a Robbie Williams interview. Anna Breeze unblocks me just to shout at me and then blocks me again. I wouldn't mind doing a Robbie Williams interview. I'd be interested in asking him a few questions about this and that or whatnot. But if Anna Breeze ain't coming on anything I'm doing because she crap herself. Me and her, we've had the conversations behind the scene. Anna Breeze, oh dear, wow, I'll give her this. She always makes an entertaining interview. She is like, I mean, I can't. I did a load of investigating into her, yeah, and then I was like, oh, poor girl, I just won't bother. Also, one of her like extended family, Louis, what's his last name? Louis something. He came up in the auditing community. It was really bizarre, and I'm a police auditor as well. I go out doing police auditing here and there as like a pastime hobby, and and the police audit community is really small. And this guy Louis came along and started like being really weird. And I looked at all his videos. In his first video, he was talking to Anna Breeze to his camera, like saying, Anna, this, that, the other. And then it turns out what I couldn't get is that he has a bit of a Cardiff accent. And then I discovered he was from Penarth. And then I discovered and then I discovered there was a relation. And I was like, but he looks like an op and she looks like an op. And they're in 2 separate different parts. And there's a whole family just working on ops. And then it was a very complicated time. And me and Anna had a couple of words behind the scenes. Normie mainstream, why? Yeah. if it's good enough for Joe Rogan, then JV will be good to get it baked. Yeah, bring on Farrar and Ferguson. Yeah, I'd love to see Farrar come on the show. Neil Ferguson, none of them. But we still, I mean, some of these we should just aim high, shouldn't we? Man, sorry, I'm not clicking on these. I'm laughing too much. Yeah, she is a loon, but interviewed some good guests. No, she's a loon. Okay, right. Okay. Mayday here. Ryan Christian T-Lav is under attack by US IRS. He'd be interesting too. Ryan Christian was involved in a smear with my ex-girlfriend against me. Ryan Christian refuses to speak to me. Ryan Christian is scared crapless of me because I was the second person who, when I got with my ex, she was smearing her last boyfriend on Ryan Christian's channel. And that's the same thing that she did later on. Ryan Christian at the start was funded by this one Canadian billionaire, and it was really sus. And then the Canadian billionaire died, and he went off, and he's just like, Ryan Christian is potentially the most narcissistic person I've met. And that was what my ex said about him. And then my ex went on and smeared me, saying I was the most narcissistic person to the person that she had told me was the most total narcissist she had ever met. So it was, I mean, it's just hilarious. Ryan Christian won't come on my show. Let me say this. Book him. Book him. Book him. Ask him. Ask him. Bring him on. I got a lot of questions for Ryan Christian. Why not ask them? I'd be very interested in asking Ryan Christian. Yeah, and he might be attacked by the US IRS because he hides everything he does, and he's doing a load. All of those guys. I mean, they're all doing a load of stuff behind the scenes that's going to get him into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, including Ryan Christian. Oh, I'm a pirate. I have to, like, my Twitter accounts get banned and then a new one comes up. Bullshit. You just make them look like they did just disappeared, and then you do another one and you're like, oh, create this movement to make it look like them. Just, I don't believe the hype. Just don't believe the hype. Biafra, then confront him. Nobody has. Love to. If we could get Jella Biafra on and I could confront him, I would love to. But he'll know what's coming from a channel like TNT. But to be honest, why not approach him? Why not approach him? Anybody who like this, I find it really interesting. Used to listen to Sonia 10 years ago when she was on People's Voice. She's rocking. Get a few comedians on. See who stands up and says it how it is. Yeah, I like a bit of that. C McKig says Sonia is poisoned, ruined TPV. What's TPV? The People's Voice. Well, I don't know what the history is. I know something a little bit about that, but I don't know that much. And my opinion of Sonia is that she's a fantastic person. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about her. GBN is Tory TV. Yes, most definitely. TNT's problem will be funding. Yeah, they used to run government adverts. That's because they not got any adverts. They not got any advertising at the moment. Anyway, after all, congratulations, Johnny. Boop. Roll on Tuesday night. Yeah, baby. Okay. Billy Boy's in the house. Glad I knew about Event 201. Gave me 2020 vision during the pandemic. Definitely. Same here. Dave Smith is a good comedian. Yes, he is. Stupid comment of the day. Get him on, Ellen. Did you see Dave Smith interview with Bobby Kennedy? Yes, I think I would be a little bit more straight than Dave Smith was, and he was pretty straight. So I'd love to get Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on. You get me, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I'll be happy. I'll be really happy. I'd love to take him on. Yeah, he buried Bobby Kennedy, it was amazing. Nobody has. Yeah, and it was exactly what needed to be done. He did a good job. Did a good job indeed. How about Patrick Wood and G. Edward Griffin? Love and Spiro. Yes, Spiro and G. Edward Griffin, definitely. Patrick Wood, I've come across, I think, but I'd love to speak to a lot of these guys. A lot of the people you're saying are very, it's very true. Are very up my street. I think Bobby K is a construction to remove votes from the Republicans. I think he's more than that. I will explain one day. It's a selection. He's the future hope. They're funneling us in America. They're funneling the people who are on my part of the political paradigm towards Bobby Kennedy. Yo, buddy. Yes. Paulie, I love Paulie. Thank you for all your support and help, Paulie, and being so kind and being on here all the time. How are your cannibalism jokes going? Oh no. Yeah, and DC's jokes should be coming up soon. Dead and realived this week is Sean Stone, the Messiah. No, he's not the Messiah. I think you know where I'm going with this. Helen, which Twitter account was the Gladio interview on? That's a good question. Flux capacitor, he's dead, Jim. But not as we know it. No, he lived. I did laugh though. I thought he was dead for all 5 minutes. I thought he was definitely dead, and then afterwards I was like unsure. That guy with the January 6th shaman dude had a Twitter space last night about it. His name starts with a J, I believe. Oh shit, what's his name? Yeah, the dude with the buffalo hat. Yeah. I'm not sure about buffalo hat, dude. I mean, what is his name? Anyway. And there's a cannibalism. Just getting my teeth into it. Oh, for your sins. Okay, we go. Jacob Chansley is... that's his name. Yes, quite right. I'm skipping through a couple of these. Again, Ferguson and Farrar I mentioned. Yes. Marianne, I'd love that, but they never come on. Mariana Spring, Yuval Noah Harari, and Neil Ferguson. It's basically Russell Brand's first interviews, first podcast. Billy Boy, hold Les Wexler's feet today. Yeah, all right, let's get Les Wexler on. Let's do it. Jacob Chansley. Michael Obama's stylist. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's low. Hanging low. Aaron Rodgers and RFK Jr. Now there's an interview. Oh, yes, it would be. Oh, Jacob Chanley has been on Viva Frey. Oh, well, in that case, then. Down to earth guy, not what he's portrayed. But the Viva Frey stuff is like, I'm not sure about Viva Frey. Okay. It all smells, they all smell a bit funky to me. How about, RFK part 2, Mystery Macron. Have you ever seen the video of her walking and sitting? I'm not sure we're talking about. We might be talking about Macron's missus. No woman I have ever met in my 55 years on Earth walks and sits like that. Many blokes I've met do. Yeah, well, they are definitely talking about that. Jordan, hello, mate. Be interested to hear your thoughts on Fishy Richie's power. Read the article, yeah. Insinuating intelligence links. I will look into that. I will. Someone asked that about earlier. Plus Starman's history of Robinson. Yes. I someone commented on that a bit earlier. Definitely thinking about that. Macron, let's get down a bit. There was a couple more. Quizmaster, yes. Schwab said in this year Davos meeting, voting is becoming unneeded. We can predict how many people will vote from social media. Oh, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Who's in charge of that? Cornell West. All right. I'll give it a go. When the elections start up properly, let's see if we can get Cornell West on. Johnny, I've heard a fellow say one time, if both of us agree all of the time, one of us isn't necessary. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, everybody going Rotting Jewels. If you're going to go and subscribe to a channel, subscribe to Rotting Jewels and watch Donna. She's amazing. I love her. And look at her. She's sending me flowers. You made me go even redder than I look with this red light going on in my face. P2 Lodge, Italian propaganda. Ba, 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 ba. Rotting Jewels. Still talking about Operation Gladio in the chat. Campbell, I'm out. You're dumb unsubbed. There you go. Dr. Shiva again. Get Dr. Shiva on. Okay, as long as he doesn't swear this time, because we'll be on the radio. Campbell laugh a lot. Did he even listen? Did this guy even listen to what I said about Campbell? Did he even listen to the fact that what the nuance of what I said? No. He hasn't listened to anything. He's unsubbed. Oh, I've lost a big one there. Somebody doesn't listen, and he's an idiot. Ooh. And Club of Rome too. I don't think I'll be able to get the Club of Rome in. I'd like to. Actually, that's a really good idea. Maybe we should try. Skipping through some of these at the end. Campbell admits he was wrong, says Richard Johnson. Yeah, I agree. You can admit you're wrong. You can be wrong. Doesn't help in trusting you in the future, though. P2 Lodge is a secret Italian society of mafia. The Italian stuff is crazy. Oh, here's my man. Dare to defy. Finally caught a live one, Johnny V. Looking well. Hope all is sunny and bright in your world, brother. It was today. Beautiful day. I went out walking because it's been a long week. And so it's... Again, if you want to go to X and if you want to follow somebody who's a really nice fella, Dare to Defy is someone there. That's why you need to control the narrative now, Paulie. Narrative and internet, blah, 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 blah. It's true. What they're saying is true. Without Russia, China and the global south, I can't see how the WEF-style New World Order can happen, assuming Russia and China aren't part of the plan somehow. What does BRICS do to equations? Yeah. Interview one of the janitors from the WEF in Davos. That sounds like a good idea. Mario JV. His name is Mario Nafwal. Yeah, he was from, and he was the one who allowed me onto the Epstein files that they had, and ran that. He was hanging around in it though. Sweet dreams to you. See you next time, Paulie. Felisa Sueno. Let's see. Double tap suicide. LOL. I love some of the chat. Yeah. Your cat is watching the spirits, indeed. Oh, wait. Okay, right. Okay. Fergus O'Connell Greenwood. I don't know who that is, but okay. Nick Bryant would be a great guest. He'd have trouble, though, because Nick Bryant tried to sell a construct to me behind the scenes, off camera, and tried to sell George Tonks, who Maria Farmer had tried to sell, and I'd already discovered and rumbled him as a fraudster, and then who Lady Victoria Hervey, who's supposed to be on the other side, also tried to sell me, and then Nick Bryant came, and I said to Nick, at the time when he was doing it, I said, Nick, please don't tell me you're about to sell me to George Tonks. And he was like, oh, no, you should believe everything he says. And I was like, Nick, he's a construct. It's a fake. I'm really worried about this right now, this conversation we're having. And I've said out loud, Nick Bryant, he's going to have some explaining why he's trying to sell on the construct to people. It was an operation. Nick Bryant looks like he was involved in an operation. I didn't like that. So, yeah, I'd have him on as a guest, but I'd ask him why he was involved in an operation. Augustus Witzel, hello! What do you know about Mia Kahan's assassination by Al-Sayed Nasir and how he helped plan 9/11? I don't. I'd love to know more. Wonder if you could tell me. DM me on X. We're both on there, I can see. And if you DM me, then we can have a conversation about it, and you can teach me more. And I am curious, fella. Have a hater. That makes sense. Just joined and missed the topics covered. I followed you with the Klaus family history. Very compelling. Thank you for following. I do appreciate it. These, I have to say, these Ask Me Anythings are getting busier. More people than was at the start. I was going through each comment. I can't do that anymore. So soon I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to have someone who tells me which comments are the ones that are probably the most best and coherent to go through for the subject, which today really is. Who am I having? Who should I have on the new TNT radio show I'm going to be hosting? You is the new hunting ground. Old is cap. It was a very British coup, Johnny. Yes. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of British coups. I thought the death of John Smith was highly convenient for everything that has happened in GB since. Yes. Oh, we're coming right up to the end, and it's done really well. Hey, I got through everything. Yes, the John Smith stuff was really dodgy and needs to be looked into, and I know some stuff about it, which is extremely interesting and pertinent, and will create more questions, especially for people like Yvette Cooper. You know, she's not very nice. I don't like her. Get her on the show. I'll take her down. Interesting. I've been suspicious about John Smith's death and how much Blair was pushed by the media, even before Smith's death. Got a lot of positive media coverage. Very suspicious. Even more suspicious is before that, all of these guys were bringing Smith, all Blair, Cooper, Brown, were bringing Smith ways to change the Labour Party to be like the Clinton administration after they had all gone and learnt from the Clinton administration during the period of late 92, early 93. And everybody knows early 93s where Jeffrey Epstein went from then on for the next 2 years, went 17 times, accompanied by Mark Middleton. Into the White House. Yeah, I just did. The guy hung himself and shot himself with a shotgun at the same time. Nice move, Mark. You're not going to get any awards like that. Me too, DC. DC turning point, definitely. Hello, Slav. Hello. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Along with all the other people, I read years ago that the agencies have undetectable drugs that cause cardiac arrest. Yes, my dad always claimed that, always said that the most likely way they took down John Smith was a sugar cube with petrol. It stops the heart. But I don't know about any of that. It's just as easy enough to inject him with something or just put something in his food. I think he had a heart attack at home while eating, if I remember correctly. Scrump Monkey is a YouTube channel with John and Evelyn. They have good takes on current political situations, do some interesting stuff. Yes, I would like to know. So that's I'd like to know more. Hi, kudos for TNT giving you a free reign. We'll look forward to this. Mercurius. Hey people, I won't tell you any of the results because of course it's private, but Mercurius has me looking through their genealogy at the moment. And it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. It's like I love looking at family trees and creating family trees and making family trees. This has been a really interesting one. Mercurius, very interesting family tree. Mahatma Levalance. Shit, I'm late. Yeah, it's true. You are late. Again, don't worry. There's a rewind button. Peter Thiel owns Rumble still, I think. Yes. And they're a bunch of bastards and they're not letting me stream on there. And may I say, Slav, thank you very much for your support. Honestly, it's people's support has kept me alive, kept me being able to pay my bills and to eat food. Thank you, Slav. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's like it kept me alive, man. Kept me alive. Thank you. I remember the great YouTube purge when Google bought it. It's been on the censor trip ever since. Yeah. I think they pushed it too far during. I think they pushed it way too far during COVID. Way too far. Okay, we're right near the end now. Right near the end. So it's probably about 10 minutes at the most left. Hello, JV. Curious to know what you know about. Oh, we asked about this one already. You could get in contact with me, Augustus. You've asked it on both platforms. Dr. Shiva Ayadura would be great. Yeah, he's a naughty one. I mean, sure, man. I'm not sure if you've seen about 3 podcasts ago, I interviewed Dr. Shiva. It was wild. It got me into loads of trouble, I think, here and there, but especially with my ex. So what? Chris Pavlovaki owns it. There's a collection of people. Pavlovsky, one of the low investors, is Teal, but that usually says something else as well. Augustus, are you an Israeli Zionist? Kahan was a Sidisti. Oh, right, Tar. It says Mahatma Lavalence. Best of luck, JV. Will be cheering on. Going to be great. Thank you. And Kahan was a sadist nut job. Arabs did not plan 9/11. The Four Guys. The Four Guys. I don't know who they are. I do know who they are. Why don't I know who they are? There's Kahan loves Zio. No, I'm not, but his assassin is believed to have helped plan 9/11 while in prison for 7 years and was once released in 2000. 9/11 happened. It did happen. There was a lot of people involved in it. I'm not completely sure. There's a little bit of a tit about there's a messianic Kahanist in here. Oh, El Sadia Nasir, look him up. No, I'm not a Kahanist, LOL. Augustus was not planned by Arabs, Mossad, and CIA. Haji Aluminu. I don't know why, but have you looked into Alan Dulles? Yes, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, I have. I have looked into a lot into Alan Dulles. What would you like me to look in? I tell you, one of the best stories I'll say for the end now, because I think that's it for the comments. I'll tell you one story. I want to say thanks to everybody. Thanks, Slav, for the tip. We were in Manchuria when America was there. But now, right. My spelling sucks. Yeah, I think I know who you are, Slav, and you're great. Lived in Oregon all my life. Oregon seems like a great place full of great people. Polymer thing. We need a Royal Rumble type show where guests keep getting added every 1 minute until Johnny pins them all. Yeah! Sounds nuts. I love it. Johnny, Ferguson O'Connor Greenwood has written a book on the globalist called 180 Degrees, Unlearn the Lies You've Been Taught to Believe. Got a lot to remember from this episode. Got a lot of reading to do. Let me just tell you a little story to go out on here. I say a good night. The Alan Dulles, I don't know if you know this story. I can't remember which book it's from. It might be from the Devil's Chessboard. It might be from something else. I can never remember. Alan Dulles, his wife hated him, despised him. And when he was on his deathbed, she wouldn't even look after him properly. She wouldn't only not look after him, she wouldn't get anybody else to look after him. And a load of people, when he was on his last legs, a load of officials come to meet him and see him, check him, see how he was doing. They heard he was ill. And they went up to this attic, I think it was an attic, where he was, like this box room somewhere. and they found him covered in his own feces. He had been demented, pooing himself in the bed and rolling around in it for maybe a week without any help. Because if you're that much of a shit, that's what ends up happening to you. That's what ends up. And Alan Dulles was one of the biggest shits in history. Biggest shits history ever gave was Alan Dulles. Completely disgusting human being. So yeah, I've done a bit of research into him. A fitting end indeed, polymorphing. Gang, thank you for joining me. That's been a really amazing question and answer. Liz Stewart coming in the end. Oh, wow. Just us, you're going to be on TNT. Congratulations, good news. Thank you, Lizzie Stewart. Hey, gang, you can join me weekdays from 4 till 6, prime time afternoon slot on TNT Radio, where I'll be talking to loads of different people about loads of different things. Some of the clips I'll try and make sure I put up on the different channels. I'll still do the Ask Me Anythings. I'm still going to do News Past. I'm still going to do Who Do They Think They Are? I'm still going to be making Searching for Stanley. I'm still going to be writing articles. I got 2 articles that are going to be coming out in the next month. Now that I don't need to sell articles as much, I can support my work elsewhere. I'll be putting them out on Newspace, which is a real relief for me. So please come and get involved. Just a little note there. Danny Polishchek in trouble with Canada about about to extricate for future hate thoughts. Oh wow, that's interesting. I would love to speak with him. He had me on his show. I talked about Yunkerman and they banned it from the show. There's another great show tonight. Thank you, DC, Ellen. Thank you, Ray J, Alphabet, Snow White, all of you, Runaway Slav. Thank you, Augustus Wetzel, for your support. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, support if you can, but most of all, enjoy as the weather gets better up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I thank you all. I'll go out with that. Feliz sueños, everyone. Thank you so much for being with me. Thanks for being on this journey with me. It's a crazy, crazy journey. Crazy, crazy, crazy journey. Look out.